Hello, and what is going on? Thank you for joining me. Good morning or good evening. Thank you for coming to another Magic the Gathering box opening on the channel. Just having one more of these diaries. And I thought that just with how things were going, we might want to... Oh, what was that? I think you all know what that means. It's time for a little Aetherdrift action. Going fast or eating some grass? That's what's going to happen here. We're either going to get something good or we're not. Now, as one of my buddies is extremely interested in lots of vehicles, I know that he was extremely excited for this set, even getting some himself and actually getting some, well, maybe not exactly the cards that he was hoping for, some pretty good value for what he was looking. And starting right off the bat, I had originally thought that maybe that this might be winter, but it doesn't look like it. Maybe it's part of that, what is it, last ride or something? But I don't know what most of the cards in this set are doing, so we are going to be looking at a whole lot of stuff, and we do have our box topper here. And if I remember correctly, there should be two cards in here. One of them should be a land, and the other should be another. Yep, contains two first place finish foils. So I'm going to have that set off to the side for the moment, or I guess maybe over here on our blue. And these over here, hoping that they give us a little bit of luck on the black. And just kind of seeing where we go from here. So, got a little bit of the Aether Spark on there, you know. No such wishes of getting that super Aether Spark on there, but you can always hope for it. Not really sure what's in these packs there, so I'm literally just getting to get. And we'll just kind of see how things end up going from there. Alrighty. So, got an insect there, but we are essentially wanting to go from the back front there. First one up, Bloomin' Sands. Coming from, I'm trying to think, no, that can't be Amonkhet there because it's gaining life, and it's not a desert there, but just your classic enter tap, gain a life there. Swiftwing Assailant, 4 for 1 white. Flying, start your engines, and at max speed, this creature gets +0/+1 and vigilance. Okay. Alacrian Jaguar, cat mount, okay. Vigilance for 5, 1 green. When this creature attacks while saddled, it gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Saddle 1, okay, so just giving it a little bit more power. Wreck Remover, 4 colorless. For artifact creature, when this creature enters or attacks, exile up to 1 target card from a graveyard to gain a life. Or you can cycle it off for 2, okay. A little bit of cycling back in. That is one thing that I'm really excited for, is all of the discard cards and whatnot there for Angie Falconroth. Transit Mage, 2 and a blue for Human Wizard. When this creature enters, you may search your library for an artifact card with mana 4 or 5, reveal it. Going off of all of those Trinket Mages and all of those different artifact mages that give you different values there. So probably, well, I'm not going to say probably, it might, because just some of the best artifacts that you're going to be wanting for in every single deck are probably in that, 1 to 3 range here, but it's another option there for you. And I'm not entirely sure which of these uncommons or commons might be worth anything there, but I will be wrapping that up there, marking them afterwards in the post-production portion there, just to show you. And Pride of the Road, 3 and a white for Zombie Cat Warrior. Okay, sorry about that, Ajani. Vigilance, start your engines, and at max speed at the beginning of combat on your turn, target creature or vehicle you control gains double strike. Alrighty, a little bit of double striking at max speed. I kind of like that for a nice Swift deck. And Sky Serpent Seeker there. Green and a blue for a snake flying death touch. Exhaust 4. Reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal 2 land cards. Put those onto the battlefield tapped, and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Put a +1/+1 on this creature. Now, I like this a lot because it's a one-time effect there because of that exhaust. It's a flying death toucher when you get it in to just try to, keep people from swinging at you there. But, doing that once, you're able to go through until you get 2 lands. It's essentially like, 2-3 visits at that point there, and then it just gets a +2/+2, not +2/+2. It becomes a 2/2 with the 1/1 counter on it. That really doesn't matter all that much. It's just the deterrent, and then the extra lands. I kind of like that there, especially in like a landfall deck. That would be great. And do we have the land? We do. A nice little twisting roadwork there through Amonkhet. Kind of gotten a big transformation there. I do want to take a look at the story to see what's kind of going on with everything on it there. But that is going to be the land for us. And start going into the fun stuff. Number 1, Skybox Fairy. Just a common card with other artwork there. 5 mana, flying, crew 2, cycling 2. Okay, just kind of your standard there. And Burner Rocket, another common there, just foiled up. Red and 1 for flash. Okay, when this vehicle enters, target creature you control gets +2/+0 and gains trample until end of turn, and it crews for 1. Okay, just all right. And Samut the Driving Force. Big cost there. I'm trying to think, is Samut just driving their own chariot or something? 3 and Naya there for Human Warrior Cleric, legendary creature. First strike, vigilance, haste, a lot of the keywords there. Is that essentially 1 for each of those? No, it's essentially 2 red ones and a white one. Start your engines, and other creatures you control get +X/+0, where X is your speed. So getting them up to that +4/+0. Non-creature spells you cast cost X less to cast, where X is your speed. Pretty impactful there if you can get it down and start getting your speed up there. Have things start costing 4 less. You can start playing some big spells. I kind of like that one there. Next up there, we got Etheric Amplifier from the command decks there for 3 mana artifact. Tap to add 1 mana of any color. 4 and tap, choose 1. Activate only a sorcery. Double the number of each kind of counters on target permanent, or double the number of each kind of counter you have. Okay. Doesn't really work. There with poison there. Kind of get 5 poison counters on yourself and just be like, I'm done with this game, and kill yourself. That wouldn't be too great there. But I could see, double the number of each kind of counter on target permanent. Okay, so it's not all permanents there, but I could see how that one might work out. Next up there, here we are with the last ride. First Mythic, not the greatest one though. Very reminiscent of Death's Shadow. 1 black for a legendary artifact vehicle. It gets -X/-X, where X is your life total. 2 and a black, pay 2 life, draw a card, crew 2. Now it is, because it comes in as a vehicle, it doesn't kill itself right out. And, you're able to essentially pseudo Phyrexian Arena yourself, just costing 1 extra life there, and you can do that infinitely. So I can see why it's not the best mythic there, but I think that it could work somehow. All right, up next we've got Muragonda Raceway. Rare land with just start your engines, and it kind of gives a little bit of that Temple of the False God energy there, but, a little bit more reliable, since it does start off getting you the colorless right away instead of having to wait for the 5 lands. I think that this could be pretty impactful. I'd be very happy to get multiple of those. All right, that finishes up our token there, our Insect Elephant, and we are getting for our last card, Winter coming back. No longer having, what was it there? Are they blue, green, red in Duskmourn there? I can't quite remember, but blue and black Fair Winter, Cursed Rider, legendary creature, human warlock, ward paying 2 life. Artifacts you control have ward pay 2 life, and exhaust 2, and Demir for tapping. Exile X artifact cards from your graveyard. Each other non-artifact creature gets -X/-X until end of turn. Now, I think that in the 99 that this could be a really good card. I'm not too big on standard there, but, you know, having to pay life for ward is decent. I mean, it's a little bit easier for someone to do it if they're not, you know, because they don't need to use mana. And if you get them down low, well, you know, it's a lot harder for them to do it there, given all of your artifacts, same exact thing. But I really like the last one there, essentially putting a board wipe on the card there, and it's each other, so it survives itself there. You got to get a lot of artifacts in the graveyard there, but I mean, it gets around indestructible, and that's kind of one of the big things about it there. So I think that it could be impactful there. I do like it, and, you know, always getting something other artwork is always nice. So first one there, 1 mythic, not the greatest one there, but, you know, getting the rare land and getting winter there, I think is pretty nice. Going on to pack number 2, seeing if we can get anything super cool there. All right, a little Thopter action, and we're going to start off with Spin Out. 2 black and a white, destroy target creature or artifact instant. Okay, kind of gives me a little bit of the Hero's Downfall vibe there. Except, you know, vehicle instead of planeswalker. And, you know, Hero's Downfall originally starting off on gold. You can, rare, you can see kind of where things are going in terms of power creep there. Rides End, 4 and a white. Costs 3 less to cast if it targets a tap permanent, exile target creature or artifact. Okay, I could see how that might be good in a limited draft environment there. Glitch Ghost Surveyor, 2 and a blue, flying, start your engines at max speed, can pay 3 to exile this from your graveyard to draw a card. Okay, you know, just trying to reuse itself from the graveyard there. Good old traditional Lightning Strike with nifty new artwork there. Very bright and vibrant. I think that's really, really good on a foiled card there. And getting to the uncommons there. Uncommon lands, Rocky Roads, land. This land enters tapped unless you control a mount or vehicle. Okay, so I wonder what they're going to call these, like vehicle lands, saddle lands, something like that. Tap for a red. 1 and a red, tap and sacrifice this to create a 1/1 colorless pilot with the saddles, mounts, and cruise vehicles as if its power were 2 greater, as though its power were 2 greater. Okay, so it's 3. I wonder if how that differs from the pilots from Kamigawa. I can't remember if they were double up or if it was that they crew for 1 extra. You know, I'll be interested to look that over, because getting pilots now that, you know, do 2 greater, that could make vehicles a little bit better. Risen Necro Regent, 4 and a black, zombie cat knights. Oh man, and Johnny's got to look out for all of these zombie cats. Start your engines, max speed at the beginning of your end step, create a 2/2 black zombie, creature token 5/4. Okay, you know, just getting a zombie every turn, not too shabby. Dredger's Insight, 1 and a blue enchantment. Whenever 1 or more artifact and or creature cards leave your graveyard, you gain 1 life. When this enchantment enters, mill 4 cards. You may put an artifact, creature, or land from among them into your hand. Okay, a little bit of, what would you call it there, reanimation strategy there to get you a little bit more life and just starting up that mill. And getting that mountain out there, getting kind of more of that Mad Maxy feel for this one here, out in the middle of nowhere. And going in for Air Response Unit, 2 and a white for vehicle, flying, vigilance, crew 1, 3/3. Okay, just kind of as is. Rip Claw Wrangler. Yeah, I mean, I think that this art is, I mean, it's very incredible. It definitely gives off that Mad Max 5. When this vehicle enters, each opponent discards a card, crew 2. Again, something to think of for the Angie, but also it's in black there, so kind of looking a little bit at that Turgrid as well. Everyone discards a card, and you get them. And now we're going on to the good stuff here. Cursed Chariot, 1 and a white vehicle. Flying, as this enters, choose a non-land card name. Activate abilities as sources with the chosen. Cost 2 more to activate. Crew 2/3/3. Okay, getting a little bit of Grand Arbiter Augustine in there on an artifact for 2. I could see how people could get mad at this one, especially since it's white, so it could go in there as well. All right, next up, Wizened Mentor. 1 and a white zombie cleric with a little bit of the Hazard in the background there. Whenever an opponent activates an ability or a permanent that isn't a mana ability, you create a 1/1 white zombie creature token. This activates only once each turn. Okay, white zombies coming in. I think that has a pretty good ability, obviously coming from the commander decks there. Going on there too. Oh my goodness. They're getting all of the graffiti type out there. Definitely looks like the new, I guess they call it Vishkar now. I will forever kind of know it as Kaladesh. Lumbering World Wagon, 2 and a green for a vehicle. This vehicle's power is equal to the number of lands you control. When it attacks or enters, you may search your library for a basic land, put it on the battlefield tapped, and shuffle. Okay. And it goes on to the battlefield tapped. Unfortunately, it does enter tapped, but getting that green out there. Again, another just landfall triggers on that one there. Next up, we got another winter there, just non-foil this time. And just keep on going from that one. Finishing up Servo and Thopter. The Servo, probably, this is my favorite one so far with all of that confetti. Give it that nice color on it there. Put those off to the side. And final card we get in there is Mendicant Core Guidelight, white and blue legendary artifact creature robot. And I think that this is the pilot of one of the vehicles there. Its power is equal to the number of artifacts you control. Start your engines, and at max speed, whenever you cast an artifact, you may pay 1 if you do copy it. Oh my. That is an insane ability. I definitely want to be looking at something with this one here. That is nice. And I've heard that people talk and say that potentially this one might be the that these guys might be part of the, what do you call it there? The Edge of Eternities there. But I think that that's a pretty busted ability. Yeah, it takes a few turns to activate, but I mean, in Commander, you can deal with that. And to double up on your artifacts there, especially some of the cheap stuff there, and, soul rings and all that stuff, getting you stuff, or even just something that helps you out on the regular. That's intense. Deathless Pilot, very, very creepy face. Look at that face. Yikes. 1 in a black zombie pilot. When this creature saddles, mounts, and crews vehicles as though its power were 2 greater. Okay, so, going in with that pilot mechanic. 3 in a black, return this from your graveyard to your hand. Giving it a little recursion. All right. Leonin Surveyor, 1 in a white, Cat Scout with start your engines. During your turn, this creature has first strike. At max speed, you can 3 exile this from your graveyard, draw a card. Okay, kind of similar to that blue one there, of when it dies, you can do something with it. Guidelight Optimizer, robot, with a 1 in a blue for a artifact creature robot. Tap, add a blue, spend this only to cast artifacts or activate an ability. 2/1, okay. Stampeding Scurryfoot, 1 green for a 1/1 mouse creature with exhaust. Put a +1/+1 on this and create a 3/3 elephant. Okay. Get a little extra card for your limited stuff. Okay, Reef Roads, same thing. Enters tapped unless you control a vehicle or mount. Taps for blue or 1 in blue, sack it, and create a pilot. Okay, so looks like all of them might be just creating pilots as sort of their secondary ability other than their mana ability. We got stock up, 2 in a blue, sorcery, look at the top 5 cards of your library, put 2 into your hand, the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. Okay. Tarion, World Tyrant, okay, a legendary dinosaur ooze for 5 and, for 3 green and 2. You know, nothing else, just a 9/7, kind of giving a little bit of that Yargle vibes to him there, of just something really big, but it does have a decent toughness, and it's only 5 mana. So, you know, definitely they're kind of ramping stuff up, especially when, you know, 5, you know, what is it? 5 green or something was the dinosaur that was like a 10/10 or something there, and this one, you know, you can use 2 of anything else. Yeah, they're making stuff there. Swamp, okay. Definitely a lot more Vishkar there. So far, probably my favorite land that we've flipped over so far. I'm digging it. And next up, we've got Apocalypse Rider. Okay, so this is just... Nope, this is a different one. Same Mad Maxi feel, but different one there. Black, red, and 2 for vehicle. Tap target creature you control with power 2 or less gains lifelink until end of turn and can't be blocked. 6/5 for crew 3. Okay. Oh, Spire Mech Cycle. That's pretty fancy there. 4 in red. Vehicle. Haste. 5/4 with exhaust. Tap another untapped mount or vehicle you control. This becomes an artifact creature. Put a +1/+1 on it for each mount and or vehicle you control other than this. Okay, so you can soup it up really far for one time there, and potentially, you know, crewing it multiple times after that. I could see this doing work. I mean, it's expensive at 5, but get the cost down, and stuff might work from there. Okay, the Lumbering World Wagon. Okay, we saw that one before, just in its all art there. Still thinking that can do work. From the commander sets there, Pima Trailblazer, 2 and a green for an Elephant Warrior, 3/3 Trampler. When this creature deals combat damage to a player, you get that many energy. Exhaust, pay 6 energy to put 2 +1/+1s on this, then draw cards equal to the greatest power among creatures you control. Okay. Get a little bit of energy, pay it, make it a 5/5, and you're drawing at least 5 cards. I think in an energy deck, that could do some work there. You know, that's something to look at. I know that the zombie deck is the more popular of the commander precons for this one here, but we'll see. Oh my, look at that craziness there. Cat dirty. 1 blue for a Merfolk Wizard. 1/1 with X and 2 blue exhaust. Tap, draw X cards, and put a 1/1 counter on each Merfolk you control. Merfolk people probably rejoicing and get another good thing there. Something to spend their mana on. All right, and then the Verges. Okay, you know, I am good getting as many lands as I can, so, you know, I think that the Verges are a really, really good version of that there. You know, don't have the double lands of having mountains and plain, but, you know, taps for 1. You control one of the 2 colors that it ends up doing in terms of land types, and you get the other. I think it's good card design. All right, Goblin on that side, Thopter on that one. Get that one set off. For the final card there of Gas Guzzler. Holy, that is all over the place. License plate is Gas Breath. Yeah, I get it. 1 black for a Vampire Rogue 2/1 with Start Your Engines. This enters tapped, and at max speed, you can pay a black and sack another creature or vampire to draw a card. Okay, nice little sack outlet there, though it does cost a little bit of mana. Still will take it. Alrighty. Well, have not gotten a Mythic since then, so definitely not quite the Innistrad Remastered luck. And I mean, the 1 Mythic that we've gotten is the Last Ride, so hopefully getting something a little bit better coming through here. Vishkar Raceway. Land with Start Your Engines. still will tap for 1 colorless, and at max speed you can pay 3 and loot. Okay. Bounce off. Blue. Return target creature or vehicle to its owner's hand. Okay. Have something that might go well with it, but you know, I'm looking more for permanent rather than just than something limited like that. Goblin Surveyor, 2 and a red. Goblin Scout for 3/2. Trample, start your engines, and at max speed pay 3. And it does the whole exile it from the graveyard, draw card, just like the other ones. Okay. Starting column. Nice and pretty. 10 teams, 10 dreams, 1 winner. 3 for an artifact, start your engines. You can tap it for 1 of any color, and at max speed you can sack it to draw 2 cards and then discard 1. Okay, that's fine. Canyon Vaulter. I like how the foiling is on that little end piece there. 1 and a white. Core Pilot. Whenever this creature settles a mount or cruise vehicle during your main phase, that gains flying until end of turn. Okay, that's nice. You know, starting to venture out for when they saddle stuff instead of just, you know, tapping for more. Locust Spray, 1 black. Target creature gets -1 until end of turn. Cycling for black, okay. Pace Setter Paragon, 2 and a red, 2/3. Human Pilot with Exhaust. Put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. It gains double strike. Not that great. Forest. The little witchy hands there. Oh, nice little forest there. I think that whenever they do these full arts are usually very beautiful. You know, not my probably my least favorite of the 4 that we've gone so far, but hey, you know, I like as many as I can get. Rover Blades, 3 for equipment vehicle, 2/2. Double strike. Equipped creature has double strike. Equip 4. Okay, so you can either crew it for 2, or you can do the equip for 4. Okay, so kind of just reminding me of some of those Kamigawa Neon Dynasty ones there for the artifact creatures that can't remember if it was Augment there, but just kind of another version off of that. And Detention Chariot, 4 and 2 white vehicle, 6/6. When this vehicle enters, exile target artifact or creature until this vehicle leaves. Crew 3 and 1 cycling. Okay. I think that's going to do it for those. And we're going to get on to the stuff of... Okay, this is like that. Yeah, it's a homunculus, so it's got those really weird names like Fibblethip there without any of the vowels. So what is it? Vinwixt, Verbose Host. Say that 5 times fast. 1 in a blue, legendary creature homunculus, 0/4 with start your engines, no max hand size, and at max speed, if you would draw a card, draw 2 instead. I love me drawing all the extra cards. I'd love to be able to put this into something there. So that's going to be something to look out for. Up next from the Commander sets, Stride Hanger Automaton, 3 mana construct, 1/4. Thopters you control get +1/+1. If 1 or more artifact tokens would be created under your control, those tokens plus an additional 1/1 colorless Thopter artifact creature token with flying are created instead. Okay, you know, getting a little bit with that, what's it there? The Academy manufacturer there, you know, just, you know, something along those lines there of just making some extra tokens. And Lifecraft Engine, a little bit of more of that Vishkar tech. 3 mana for 4/4 vehicle. When it enters, choose a creature type. Vehicle creatures you control are the chosen creature type in addition to their other types. Each creature you control the chosen type other than this vehicle get +1/+1. Okay, so given a little bit more Lord status, kind of like that Roaming Throne there. Not quite as good as Roaming Throne there, but, you know, we'll take it. And Next we got, okay, next mythic there, that Hazoret Godseeker with her, the graffiti artwork there. 2 mana. 2 mana for a god. 5/3, indestructible at haste. Start your engine. Target creature with power 2 or less can't be blocked this turn. Hazoret can't attack or block unless you have max speed. And I've seen someone say that kind of equates to it, that this really feels a lot like Suspend there, because it's 1 mana to give one of your creatures essentially unblockable for the turn there. So you just have to get through those initial turns. Maybe not the most swiftest there, since, it's at least turn 5 by the time that you can attack or block with this. Is it that 4 or 5 there with how the start your engines work? So not super massive aggro, but 5/3 indestructible can do stuff, and with the haste it can activate that ability first turn. So definitely we'll take that there. And we've got our nice little happy servo shooting up confetti for this amazing card, which is going to be a Count on Luck. 3 red for an enchantment with, at the beginning of your upkeep, exile top card of library. You may play that card this turn. Absolutely love that effect there. Not the greatest, not the most game breaking, but just giving yourself an extra card every turn there. In red, kind of getting that essentially extra card draw. I mean, I'll take it there. Okay. Up next. Okay, there's our pilots there. Look like a seasoned veteran. All right. Nimble Thopterist, 3 and a blue for Vidalcan Artificer. When it enters, create a 1/1 Thopter with flying. 3/2. I feel like that might have been part of Kaladesh when it originally came out. Maybe. Light Shield Parry for 1 white. Target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn with cycling. Migrating Ketradon, 4 and 2 green for a Dinosaur Reach. When it enters, gain 4 life. Cycling for 2 and 6/6. Okay. Skybox Fairy, 5 mana for a 4/4 vehicle. Flying crew 2, cycling 2. Okay. Nothing too super amazing from those ones there. Oh, that is absolutely terrifying there. Don't want to see that in the middle of the night. Why do they make these toys always so frightening? 1 and a black for an artifact creature toy. 3/1 and Surveil for a black and a tap. Surveil 1. Constant Surveil. I can see why people might want that. Lots of folks on Duskmourn are more scared of dying than what comes after. Oh, how wrong they are. Thank you, Winter. Another legendary creature in the uncommon slot there. Lagarin, Soul of Alacria. Green and white for Beast Mount. For 1/1, saddle 1. When it attacks while saddled, put a +1/+1 on each of up to 2 target mounts and or creatures. Just more mount support. Okay, I can dig that. Ooze Patrol. Now that is a vehicle. Get yourself a vehicle like that. 3 and a green for a 2/2 ooze. When this enters, mill 2 cards, then put a +1/+1 on this creature for each artifact and or creature card in your graveyard. Make it big. Oh, and, well, we're getting 5 different lands here. And I'm liking this one too. Definitely think that the swamp that we've opened up so far, because there might be a second version of it there. Maybe, they've got one for each of the teams there, and this is the Street Sharks there. Probably my second favorite so far. Maybe it's got a little bit of Ragavan in there as well, but I'm digging it. Broadcast Rambler, 4 and a white vehicle, crew 1/5/4. When it enters, create the Thopter. Okay, so it essentially crews itself there with what you create. And Spot Cyclid Scouter, 1 and a 2. When it enters, scry 2, cruise for 1, 3/2. Okay. And getting off to the good stuff of another Gonti Night Minister this time. Gonti's really getting around there. I mean, he showed up on with the Thunder Junction there, and now looks like he's got that the Ether Spark with him. 2 and 2 black, legendary creature, 3/4. Whenever a player casts a spell they don't own, that player creates a treasure token. Whenever a creature deals combat damage to one of your opponents, its controller looks at the top card of that opponent's library and exiles it face down. They may play that card for as long as it remains exiled, mana of any type. Okay, so given a little bit of... feels like it's given a little bit of Lord of Luxury there, but everyone gets to join in. You know, just another card to play with your, robbery and theft decks of, hey, I want to play all of your cards and not my cards. All right, up next we've got, from the commander sets, Lost Monarch of Ifnir. Well, I love my Archdemon of Ifnir, so maybe this one will do me good. 3 and a black for 4/4, Zombie Noble with Afflict 3, and other zombies you could have Inflict 3. Oh my. Yeah, that is definitely going to be going into a zombie deck, especially if you can get them out there real quick. Beginning of your second main phase, if a player was dealt damage by a zombie this turn, mill 3 cards, then you may return a creature from your graveyard to your hand. Okay, yeah, that can be a little backbreaking there. And we get Voyager Glidecar, 1 white for a 2/3 vehicle. When it enters scry 1, tap 3 other untapped creatures you control. Till end of turn, this creature becomes an artifact creature and gains flying. Put a +1/+1 on it there. So you can crew it for 1, or you can tap 3 to give it more power to try to get it up better for late game, maybe with like the servos and whatnot there. Not the greatest that I'm seeing there. Maybe there's something else that I can see. I mean, I know that you can if you've got tons and tons of them of untapped creatures, you can just tap them all and you get the multiple +1/+1s on it, but you really have to work getting that out there. Okay. Next up there, we've got another Samut, just another version of them. And got our treasure and our pilot, and that's going out. And our big final card here is another Verge, just the blue and red one there. My favorite color combination, so absolutely we'll take that one. Okay, going on. Still haven't hit anything massive yet, so hoping to go about that here with this one. Breakfield Mustang, 3 and a white. It attacks while saddled, untap it and put a +1/+1 on it. I assume that it still attacks though. 3/3. Mutant Surveyor, 2 and a black. Start your engines. For 2 mana, this creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn, and it does the whole exiling from your graveyard for the 3 draw card. And then we've got Hazard of the Dunes. Yeah, that is a big hazard out there. 3 and a green for a 4/4 Worm Trample, Reach, Exhaust. For 6 and a green, put 3 +1/+1s on it. In picture, it's deadly. In practice, not so much. Kickoff Celebrations, 1 and a green enchantment. Start your engines. When this enchantment enters, you may discard a card. If you do, draw 2. Because you got to play it, that's essentially, 2 cards to get rid of out of your hand for 2 cards, so they replace themselves essentially. Max speed, sack this enchantment, creatures and vehicles gain haste until end of turn. Okay. Alacrian Armory, 3 and a white. For artifact creatures you control, get +0/+1 and have Vigilance. Vigilance is nice. At the beginning of comment on your turn, choose up to 1 target mount or creature you control until end of turn. That permanent becomes saddled if it's a mount and becomes an artifact creature if it's a vehicle. Okay, so just a free mount or or saddle. What is it? Saddle or crude. There. Okay. I could see that working out there. Push the limits. That's definitely part of Samut's team there with all of the hippos. 5 and 2 red for a sorcery. Return all mount and vehicle cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. Sack them at the beginning of your next end step. Vehicles you control become artifact creatures in a turn. Creatures you control gain haste until end of turn. Yikes. Just kind of like a little bit of Rise from the Dark Realm specifically for your vehicles and mounts there. That could be dangerous. That could be a dangerous finisher there. Autark Mammoth, 2 green and 4 and 2 green for 5/5 elephant mount, no trample. When this enters and whenever it attacks while saddled, create a 3/3 green elephant creature token. So essentially, instead of attacking with the 5/5 creature that you have, you're going to tap it to saddle this so that you can get an additional 3/3 green elephant. Another Getting back with the Witchy Hands in the Forest. Still haven't seen if we'll get more for each one's there. Haunted Hellride, 1 and blue and black for 3/3 vehicle, crew 1. Whenever you attack, target creature you control gets +1/+0 and gains Death Touch until end of turn, and then tap it. Okay. Yep. Just giving something Death Touch. That's always a little nice feature there. And Hull Drifter. I wonder what that's playing off of there, especially for that 5 mana with 3 and 2 green, 3/2 flying artifact with crew 3. When it enters, draw 2 cards. Whatever could that be? Maybe it's playing off of Null Drifter or something? I don't know. Next up, we've got the man himself, Captain Howler the Sea Scourge. 2 and blue and red for a 5/4 Shark Pirate. Hell yeah. Ward is pay 2 mana and pay 2 life. Absolutely a menace. Whenever you discard 1 or more cards, target creature gets +2/+0 until end of turn for each card discarded this way. Whenever that creature deals combat damage to a player this turn, you draw a card. Absolute menace, absolute menace. I love him. Street Sharks all the way. And our mythic is the head himself, Temet Nakdamun's Will, for 2 white, blue, and black. 4/4 Zombie Wizard, Vigilance Menace. Whenever you attack, draw, then discard, and whenever you draw a card, zombies you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. I think it's the other one that is the big showstopper there, but, getting him in here too. Always nice. Up next, we've got Agnosaur Rex. Another dinosaur there. He's given us a little bit of a Looney Tune action with his feet there. Either that or he's got some really bad genetics of having way too many legs and feet than he needs. 3 and 2 green for a dinosaur, 8/8 Trampler. You can cycle him. And whenever you cycle this card, put 2 +1/+1 counters on up to 1 target creature or vehicle. It gains trample and indestructible until end of turn. Okay, so you either have an 8/8 Trampler for 5, or for 3 mana, you're pumping something up by 2 with counters on it, and it's trample and indestructible. Yikes. Next up there, we've got back from losing his spark, Doretti, Rocketeer Engineer. 4 and a red for a Goblin Artificer with a star and 5, where Doretti's power is equal to the greatest mana value among artifacts you control. Whenever Doretti enters or attacks, choose target artifact in your graveyard. You may sack an artifact. If you do, return the chosen one to your battlefield. Okay, so he's given off essentially his, what is it? One of his Planeswalker abilities there to just sack a little artifact there, get the big one back, and it goes directly onto the field. You're mana cheating there. That is scary. And we've got our little confetti blaster again there for our final card of... Oh, you are all over the place here. Atchik, Emerald, Radian, 3 black, green for a 3/3 insect druid. Okay, so you cost 6. Hopefully you do something. When it enters, create a 1/1 green insect creature token for each artifact and or creature card in your graveyard. Okay, flood the board with insects, and whenever another insect you control dies, +1/+1 on him, and then each opponent loses 1 life. Okay, so you could make him big real quick if you wanted to. You could try to kill a bunch of their insects to try to make him big, and it's each opponent loses 1 life. I'm going to have to look into this because it's an expensive card, but I could see this as a commander there of just an insect deck that... Unfortunately, there's probably not a whole lot that you can do to really like bounce him or recur him, especially if he's the commander there, but I don't know. I see some potential for just a little fun deck with that. Alrighty. Up next, treasure there is that from Chandra's outfit there, a little Nalar symbol maybe. Stall out. 1 in a blue, tap target creature or vehicle and put 3 stun counters on it. Yikes. That can be devastating in like a one-on-one format there. I mean, even tapping down something that's essential in a multiplayer game, they're not getting that for many turns. Thornwood Falls, I'm certain that these have been reprinted. It's just new artwork there. The taps and gain 1 life lands. Prowler Specialist, 1 in a green, 2/1 haster, exhaust. Pay 4 mana and put 2 +1/+1s on this creature. Okay, not amazing. Bestow Greatness, nice puppers there. 2 in a green, target creature gets +4/+4 and trample. Not exactly the artwork that I would go with it there, but I do appreciate the cute pupper there. The green version of our uncommon land cycle there. Sky Crash, 1 in a red, destroy target artifact. So I guess the trade-off there of why I still will prefer a Braid is because it's 3 damage or destroy target artifact. This replaces the 3 damage with a cycling. So not anything that I might be doing. I'll probably still be keeping all my Braids in there, but, you know, it is what it is. Apocalypse Runner, we had gotten that one before. This is just this regular artwork there. Still looking like that menacing Mad Max. And we've gotten that Mad Max styling on that mountain there. And getting that Ripclaw Wrangler again. And just a foil version of that Hell Ride. All right. Seeing a few of these duplicates there. And we're getting up to the good stuff of Quag Feast. I am not sure what a quag is. 1 in a black. For sorcery, choose target creature, planeswalker, or vehicle. Mill 2, then destroy the chosen permanent if its mana value is less than or equal to the number of cards in your graveyard. Okay, so very good for your milling decks there. Up next there we got Rampaging Aetherhood. Snake Hydra, 4 and a green from the commander decks. 4/4, trample, ward 2. At the beginning of your upkeep, you get an amount of energy equal to this creature's power. Then you may pay 1 or more energy if you do put that many +1/+1s on this creature. That is a lot of free energy if you can keep it alive. And with that ward 2, that's going to make it a little difficult for someone to get rid of it. That's a lot of free good energy. If I look at making an energy deck, I'll probably be running that in it. Up next, we've got the Boommobile. Is this going to go boom? 2 and 2 red for a 5/5 vehicle. When it enters, add 4 mana of any one color. Spend this mana only to activate abilities, which, you can do it on itself right away. X, 2, and a red. This deals X damage to any target, and you put +1/+1 counter on this vehicle. Okay, so trying to get You could get rid of one thing right away if you put it down for it. Since it can only activate abilities there, maybe try to find something else that goes along with it, or you just have a lot of mana that comes out there. Okay. Not quite your boom pile there, but... And just a non-foil version of Mendicant Core and Thopter Treasure. And we're finishing off this one here with the new Mimeoplasm Mythic. Again, not a super amazing Mythic there. We're kind of getting a little hosed on our Mythics in this one as opposed to the Innistrad Remastered ones. And even the Ixalan one that we did. But blue, black, and green with X. Or legendary creature Ooze. As it enters, exile up to X creature cards from your graveyard, and it enters with 3+1/+1 on it for each creature card exiled this way. So, you know, every X that you do beyond it, it gets 3 greater. So at the very least, it's got to be 4 because you got to exile at least one thing to give it the counters. And then for 2 mana, this becomes a copy of target creature card exiled with it, except it's a 0/0 and has this ability, so you can... I don't think that the abilities stack on it there because it becomes a copy of it with that ability. So, you know, still kind of having that original Mimeoplasm ability, just slightly different. You know, good to get it, but, you know, we're still looking for some good value in these cards. Oh, and we're getting a little bit of zombie action there, trying to come over from Innistrad. Night Market, enters tap, choose a color, add 1 mana of the chosen color, cycle 3. Ripclaw Wrangler, just the regular artwork of it there. Kind of enjoying the alternate artwork that we got for it so far, though. Broken Wings, pretty sure that we've gotten this one before. 2 and a green, instant destroy target, artifact, enchantment, or creature with flying. Ticket Tortoise. I don't know, there's something about that that's adorable to me. Just a little artifact turtle. Admit 1, enjoy the race. 2 mana for a 3/1 artifact turtle with Defender. A Defender with 3/1. Interesting. When this creature enters and if an opponent controls more lands than you create a treasure token. Okay. Keep yourself low on that there and just create a bunch of treasures, I guess. Okay. Thundering Broodwagon, 2 black and 2 green for a 6/5 vehicle. Menace Reach. When this enters, destroy target non-land permanent opponent controls with mana value 4 or less. Crew 3. Okay, kind of getting a little bit of that. Not Assassin's Trophy. I don't think it was Putrefy, but just that you know, mana value destruction there. It's a little bit expensive to do it. I don't think people are going to be really running this hero that much, especially not in Standard. I think it's a little bit too expensive for that. Trade the Helm. More Street Sharks there. 4 and a blue. Exchange control of target artifact or creature you control and target artifact or creature an opponent controls. These Street Sharks, they'll take what you want. I dig it. So far, I'm digging all of the Street Shark stuff. Bomb Descendant. Black, 1 white and a black for a 1/2 zombie. Start your engines. When it enters, create a 2/2 black zombie. Alongside it, max speed. Whenever a creature you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Given a little bit of that Blood Artist action in zombies there. That can be a little bit dangerous. And again, a little bit of Witch Hands there. Oh, I didn't get rid of that there. Already got this Spot Cyclet Scouter. And we got that Apocalypse Runner as well. So all set with those ones there. And getting on to our Black-White Verge. Just the original artwork there. With Swamp. And you get the plains there. Looks like Jace is back in here, despite being older than nearly every living thing here. Loot is still just a kid. That doesn't change what we need from him. I still have no idea what Loot is. I am very far behind on the story there. I mean, I don't know. After the Phyrexian stuff, I just sort of lost a little bit of interest there. The story, I'm just not sure where the story is going to be since it seems a little bit disjointed now. I guess Lute and Kellen are just sort of going to be maybe the main characters at this point here, but, not quite as exciting of characters there. From our commander set, Priest of the Crossing, white and 3 for a 3/3 zombie bird cleric flyer. At the beginning of each end step, put X +1/+1 counters on each creature you control, where X is the number of creatures that died on your control this turn. Okay, helping out with getting things real big real quick there. And next up there, we've got the Bulwark Ox, another freaky guy. 1 in a white, Ox Mount, 2/2. Whenever this creature attacks while saddled, put a +1/+1 on target creature. Could be itself, could be another person. Sack this creature. Creatures you control with counters on them gain hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. Okay. I see it there. So you want to get counters on everything that you have, because this is essentially not a Teferi's Protection, a heroic intervention that you have just by sacking it there. I could see that doing stuff there, but you definitely need to have it in a counters deck. Yes, it fuels itself with the +1/+1s that it does, but it's just, you need more than just that. Another really crazy version of Gonti there, really changing up with what his face looks like there, but it is Gonti. And get that little elephant there that gets made by that other guy. And final card there, we get the Verge again, unfortunately. So that's, I think it's the same exact one that we've gotten. Yep, just foil and non-foil there. So getting duplicates on the rares, not so great so far. Now, I don't exactly know how strong the Verges are, how valuable that they are comparatively there. I'm hoping that they have a little bit of value to them because I like them. Engine Rat, black 1/1 zombie rat, death touch. For 6 mana total, each opponent loses 2 life. Okay. Collision Course, 1 in a white, sorcery, choose 1. It deals X damage to target creature where X is the number of permanents you control that are creatures and or vehicles. And destroy target target artifact. Okay, kind of, it's going sorcery, speed, abrade, except X is the number of creatures. So very much a white abrade. I like that. That could do something there. It's sorcery speed, not the best, but hey, we can work with it. Dynamite Diver. Goblin's always doing crazy stuff there. 1 red for a 1/1 Goblin Pilot. Saddles and crews for 2 power greater. When this dies, it deals 1 damage to any target. Guidelight Matrix, 2 mana for an artifact. When it enters, draw a card, replaces itself. Okay. 2 mana and tap, target mount you control becomes saddled. Okay, so for 2 mana, it will be able to saddle or mount anything. So again, another thing if you don't have a lot of creatures there. And Veteran Beast Rider, 1 and green and white, Human Knight. At beginning of your end step, untap each creature you control. Okay, not quite the Seedborn Muse, but still getting all of your creatures. Now, unfortunately, it's a Human Knight. If it was an elf, now that could be dangerous with getting a lot of extra mana out there. 2 green and white creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. Okay, I could see some usage for that there, especially if you're not running really any vigilance and you want something to stay back. That is amazing. That is fantastic artwork, and this is not like a special card. This is just a regular card. God Machine, yeah, you're making some godly artwork there. That is beautiful. Another Archfiend there. Not Archfiend of Ifnir, but Shephet Archfiend. 5 and 2 black for a 5/5 demon. When this creature enters, all other creatures get -2/-2 until end of turn. Okay. Yeah. Given Definitely giving a little bit of that Archfiend Ifnir vibes. Just, it's not permanent, but it is. I like it. I like it. It's a little expensive, but I like it. Outpace Oblivion. 2 and a red enchantment, start your engines. When this enters, it deals 5 damage to up to 1 target creature or planeswalker, and 2 mana, sacrifice this. It deals 2 damage to each player who doesn't have max speed. Just kind of A little bit of Street Shark action. I'm digging it there. Clamorous Ironclad. A little bit of Street Shark action there. 3 and a red for a 6/3 vehicle, crew 3, cycling. Not that great, so pass on that one there. Another Street Shark vehicle, definitely take that. Boosted Sloop. 1 blue and red for a 3/3 vehicle, menace. When you attack, draw a card, then discard, crew 1. Okay, given a little bit of Smuggler Copter vibe, just without flying, and giving it menace instead. And instead of being 3 colorless, you're a little bit more limited in where you can put it there. So a bit more of a fair Smuggler's Copter that you could probably say. And that's actually it for that. So our new monument there. These ones in rares instead of uncommons. River Churn Monument. 1 and a blue artifact with 1 mana and tap any number of target players each mill 2 cards. And then exhaust 2 and 2 blue, any number of target players each mills cards equal to the number of cards in their graveyard. Okay, so a mill out strategy where once you get it out, all you need to do is make sure that half their deck is in their graveyard and they're dead. Fantastic. Good old mill, I guess. Thanks. Thanks, Frog. Okay, from the commander decks, we've got our Ret2 Mystic. Zombie Birds this time. 1 and a blue, 2/1 flyer with each creature card in your hand has cycling. Not my favorite thing there. I mean, I like my Angie to be able to get those sort of cards there. But I'm not playing blue in that, so don't really need that. And then we get our Waxen Shape Thief. Another really wacky artwork there from Cat Dirty. 3 and a blue, Shapeshifter. Flash 0/0. You may have this enter as a copy of an artifact or creature you control. Okay, only things that you can control, but it does have flash. Copy your best thing that's non-legendary there. And it's artifact or creature, so, it's just better clone at this point here. Next up, we've got Unstoppable Plan. 2 and a blue, beginning of your end step, untap all non-land permanents you control. Okay, we got the white-green version of essentially Seedborn Muse, and this is the blue version of it, an enchantment instead of a creature. And Champion of Wits is back. I remember that being in the Amonkhet block and that white zombie. Okay. Please don't be Champion of Wits. Oh, getting a little bit of Street Shark action there. Fearless Swashbuckler. 1 blue and a red for Fish Pirate. Haste 3/3. Vehicles have haste. Whenever you attack, if a pirate and a vehicle attacked this combat, draw 3 and then discard 2. Party on the poop deck. There's certainly going to be a party there. Super looting, I guess. But you have to have both a vehicle and a pirate attacking at the same time there. Okay, interesting. All right, well, definitely coming up a little bit shy on mythics in this one here, so maybe this first Aetherdrift is a little bit of a dud for us. Oh well, can't be the best at all of them there. Light Wheel Enhancements, 1 white to enchant a creature or vehicle. Start engines. Enchant permanent has +1/+1 vigilance. And at max speed, you may cast this card from your graveyard. A little recursion there for the max speed. That's actually something that I think could be very effective there in other cards if they had it. Trip Up, 3 mana and a blue, target non-land permanent's owner puts it on their choice of the top or the bottom of their deck. Okay, just make them recast stuff. Thunderhead Gunner, 4 and a red. For 4/5 reach, discard a card, draw a card, activate only as a sorcery only once. Okay. Fellow Heart Bike, 2 and a green for a 4/2 vehicle. Crew 2. When this enters, gain 2 life. You can tap it for a mana. Okay. Guidelight Synergist, 3 and a white for artifact creature flying. This creature gets +1/+0 for each artifact you control, and it's 0/4. Again, okay. Intimidation Tactics, 1 black for a sorcery. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose an artifact or creature card from it and exile it. Now, that one is going to be good. Now, you can't get rid of, the other stuff. Not enchantment, can't get rid of planeswalkers, though there aren't really many of those around anymore. Not in standard at the very least. But, given a little bit of duress vibes to it, a little bit more limited, but I could see it getting played. Greenbelt Guardian, 1 and a green. For 1 green, target creature gains trample, exhaust, put 3 +1/+1 on this creature, or 2/2. Okay, 1 green for trample, not that bad. The best land so far, with maybe the bug driver there. Cloudspire Sky Cycle. I think we had gotten this before yet. We did, just this is its other artwork there. And the other one's going to be our Clamorous Ironclad again. Getting into the good stuff of Sita Varma, Masked Racer. Green and blue, legendary creature 2/3 with exhaust. 2 green, a blue, and X. Put X +1/+1 on Sita Varma. Then you may have the base power and toughness of each other creature you control become equal to Sita Varma's power until end of turn. Okay, so it's out there. And unfortunately, it does not give like trample or flying or anything like that, but it's giving almost like that a pseudo Craterhoof Behemoth or Pathbreaker Ibex there, but it's just base power and toughness. So, it's okay. You need a lot of mana for that one there. Coming up with the other commander of the energy deck there of good old Pia Nalar coming back. 1 green, 1 blue, 1 red. Whenever 1 or more artifact creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, get 2 energy, and it's whenever 1 or more. So unfortunately, you can only get a max of 2 off of each combat. At the beginning of your end step, you may pay 1 or more energy. If you do, create an XX colorless vehicle artifact token named Nalar Aetherdrift with flying. Crew 2, where X is the amount of energy spent this way. It is what it is. And we're getting up our good blue-red Verge. Still got a couple cards left there. And also full throttle there. 4 and 2 red. After this main phase, there are 2 additional combat phases. At the beginning of each combat this turn, and tap all creatures that attack this turn. I love this. I want to make, I don't think it's going to be a Karlach commander deck there, but I want to just try to take as many combat phases as possible. Just keep swinging and swinging and swinging. And this one is going to be invaluable for that. So I am glad to get that. And get a little bit of 3/3 golems in that construct there. And our last thing is going to be a possession engine. A little bit of spooky stuff going on there. Take it for a spin, not a request. 3 and 2 blue for a 5/5 vehicle. When it enters, gain control of target creature an opponent controls for as long as you control this vehicle. That creature can't attack or block for as long as you control this vehicle. Okay, so essentially, you're using that creature either for its abilities or for crewing stuff, like the possession engine there. So, essentially, a mind control spell on a stick there. And if you keep it as a vehicle, it's a bit harder to get rid of there. Not impossible. Not as impossible as, like, an enchantment or something, but a bit better than like a creature. So if you don't crew it there, you don't have to worry about the creature removal. All right, getting that whole drifter back. Dig it. Pack Doll Terror. Again, more creepy dolls, probably from Duskmourn. 3 and a black for a 3/4 artifact creature. Whenever this creature or another artifact you control enters, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. So this... So this is going along. Because the other one was a rare there that essentially acted like a blood artist. Now this one is when things enter. So, you know, if you get an artifact entering, each opponent loses 1 and you gain 1. And then when each artifact leaves, same thing, they lose 1 and you gain 1. That's a little bit gnarly. Not infinite. I don't really like infinite combos there, but, you know, just a little something there. The Scoured Barrens, again, the gain life tap lands, or gain life dual lands. Run over, 1 and a green. This spell costs 1 less to cast if it targets a mount or creature you control. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target creature an opponent controls. What? This spell costs 1 less to cast if it targets a mount or vehicle. Oh, okay. So the target creature being you either have to do it on a mount or a crewed vehicle. Okay. That makes a lot more sense. I was just confused there for a moment. Like, are you targeting your own thing to get hurt there? That would be weird. I mean, sure, you know, there are strategies for that, but with this set, it doesn't seem great. Get another Scarecrow. You know, we need better Scarecrows. Wickerfolk Indomitable. 3 and a black, 4/3 artifact creature. You may cast this card from your graveyard by paying 2 life and sacking an artifact or creature in addition to paying its other costs. Just keep on bringing it back there. It's okay. It's not great. Rocketeer Boost Buggy. Red and a green. When this attacks, create a treasure. Exhaust for 3. This vehicle becomes an artifact creature and put a +1/+1 on it. Crew 1, 3/2. Fang Druid Summoner there. Super Monkey. 3 and a green, 2/4 ape reach. When this enters, you may search your library and or graveyard for a creature card with no abilities. Reveal it, put it in your hand. If you search your library this way and shuffle. Okay, I mean, I don't really want to do things with no abilities. I imagine keywords aren't considered abilities there, so you could get something big with keywords, I guess, but I don't know. If you can't get even something with keywords, that's kind of super meh. More Mad Max there. And Veloheart Bike, 2 and a green. When this vehicle enters, gain 2 life. Okay, yeah, we saw that one there before. And the other one, that's a bit strange there. And going in for the white-green Verge regular art style there, so that's the 3rd one of it there, but we've gotten both artworks, so that it's fine to get that there, but there are some other Verges we'd like to get. From the Commander deck, Adaptive Omnitool, 2 mana, Equipment. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 for each artifact. Whenever equipped creature attacks, look at the top 6 cards of the library. You may reveal an artifact card from among them and put it in your hand. Put the rest on the bottom library in a random order. Equip cost 3. It's fine. Caradora, Heart of Alacria, 2 green and a white, legendary creature, 4/2. When it enters, you may search your library for a mount or vehicle, reveal it, put it in your hand, and then shuffle. If 1 or more +1/+1 counters would be put on a creature or vehicle you control, put that many +1/+1s on it instead. It's fine. Oop, don't go flying on me there. Afterburn Expert, 2 and a green. Goblin Artificer, 4/2. Exhaust. 2 and 2 green, put 2 +1/+1 counters on this. Whenever you activate an exhaust ability, return this card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Okay, a little bit of green recursion there like that. It's a green goblin too. Don't get many of those. And for our final card there, we're getting the Debris Beetle. Little reminder there of a little hunter action there with the Chimera Ant Dung Beetle. 2 mana, green and black for a 6/6 vehicle with trample. When this enters, each opponent loses 3 and you gain 3, crew 2. Again, it's just it's a 6/6 trampler that costs 2 to crew it there, but, you know, the ETB is all that I have, and it's not a fantastic one there. It's no, you know, Siege Reiner there. Well, coming on the last pack, don't really feel like we've gotten super lucky on this one here, on this box here. Seems like there's probably other ones that are going to be a lot better. Skystreak Engineer, 1/2, 1/3 flyer with exhaust. Put 2+1/+1s on it for 4 and a blue. Bloodfell Caves, gain 1 life. Dual land there. Broodcast Rambler, 4 in a white vehicle. When it enters, create a +1/+1 colorless Thopter artifact creature with flying. We might have gotten that one there. You know, the crew itself one. Gastel Blockbuster, 2 in a red. When this enters, you may sack a creature or vehicle. When you do, destroy target artifact and opponent controls. Okay, a little symmetrical. Get rid of something you don't want there. Sabotage Strategist, 2 and 2 blue. Flying Vigilance, 2/2. Whenever one or more creatures attack you, they get -1/-0 until end turn. Exhaust. Put 3 +1/+1s on this. Okay. Spire Mech Cycle, 4 in a red vehicle. 5/4 haste. Exhaust. Tap another untapped mount or vehicle you control. This becomes... Okay, so I'm pretty sure we got this one as well in the alternate arts there. Boom Scholar, 1 green and red. Exhaust abilities of other permanents you control cost 2 less to activate. Okay, you know, just helping out a little bit with the Agatha on there with the green and red. Exhaust, 4 green and red. Creatures and vehicles you control gain trample until end turn. Put 2 +1/+1 counters on this creature. Street Sharks, go. Midnight Mangler, 1 in a blue. During turns other than yours, this vehicle is an artifact creature. So get a crew on your turn, but on others, it's just a creature in general. Rocketeer, Boom Buggy. We got that one before. This is just its alternate artwork there. And for our last rares, we're getting Guardian Sunmare, 3 and 2 white for a 5/5 horse mount, ward 2. When this attacks, while saddled, search your library for a non-land permanent with mana value 3 or less. Put it onto the battlefield and then shuffle. Saddle 4. So it costs a lot to saddle, but non-land permanent, you know, your Soul Rings, your Arcane Signets, any sort of rock that you need there, just, you know, something cheap that can do a lot of stuff there, like what is it? Sentinel there, Esper Sentinel. You know, it costs a lot, but it gets things out of your deck quick. I could see that being used there. Okay, from the commander decks there, Prophet of the Scarab, 4 in a blue for a 3/4 zombie. Vigilance, when this creature enters, draw cards equal to the number of zombies you control, or the number of zombie cards in your graveyard, whichever is greater. That is a good one there. You know, fill up your hand there for your zombie decks. Another Speed Demon there. No, this is different. This isn't Last Ride. This is Speed Demon. I think that this is actually one of the good ones there. 3 and 2 black, legendary creature demon. Flying Trample, start your engines at the beginning of your end step. You draw X cards and lose X life, where X is your speed. Yes, it's the souped up Phyrexian Arena there, where instead of activating at the beginning of your turn, activates at your end step. Okay. I dig this card. I dig it there. I think that it could work. Okay, so I guess we're saving all of our mythics for the last pack here. Sabsunen, Luxa Embodied, the Man, I love frogs. 3, green and a blue, legendary creature god, reach, trample, indestructible, can't attack or block unless it has an even number of counters on it, with 0 being even. So if you do get haste on it there, you can attack turn 1. 6/6, at the beginning of your first main phase, put a +1/+1 counter on Sabsunen. Then, if it has an odd number of counters on it, draw 2 cards. So so if you're not looking to get haste on it there, if there is a way for you to flash this out either in your untap or upkeep step, then you'd be able to get the +1/+1 counter on it and draw the 2 cards. That's something to explore on there, but getting 2 of those there is something that are valuable. And probably the best token that we have here, the vehicle counter. Now, I think that this is the Chandra Nalar one that's made from the Planeswalker, the new Planeswalker Chandra there. But it's got that Akita, almost Akita artwork there of going out to the vehicle. That's definitely my favorite token from this. And to finish it off, is it going to be Chandra? Is it going to be something else? Oh, ho, ho, ho. Now that is a way to finish it up. Not one of those textured foils there, but the Japanese art one, foil, full art for the Radiant Lotus foil. Oh my goodness. This card is going to be busted. 6 mana artifact with tap it, sack 1 or more artifacts, and you choose a color, and target player adds 3 mana of the chosen color for each artifact sacked this way. It's going off of your traditional Black Lotus. Yeah, you're sacking artifacts, but you're getting 3 mana for each one. Every treasure token that you have, well, that is now 3 mana instead of 1 mana. I mean, you can only do it once a turn. Essentially, I mean, if you're able to untap it there with something like anything there, Cloud Key Curio or something like that. Oh my goodness, there. That is... Well, I guess, that's going right into the sleeve there right here at the very end. Oh my goodness. I was so concerned that things were not being good throughout this whole thing, and then we get probably one of the best things that you can possibly get here right at the very end. Though, there is one last thing that we can possibly get here. Something in here could be amazing as well. Now, we know that we're going to get at least 1 land, and okay, so the land is going to be on top there, and we're getting Street Sharks right off the bat. Hello, that is the one that I would have wanted to get. So here's for luck that we're going to get something really cool for our other first place finish there. So we've gotten our Radiant. We got 3 mythics in that last pack there. What a last pack. Sabsunen, Speed Demon, and the Japanese art foil Radiant Lotus getting our island. And our last card is going to be the Lumbering World Wagon. Now, I don't think that this is going to be a terribly rare or expensive one to have gotten there, but it is going to be going into the collection there. Definitely finishing off strong with that last pack. Getting a few, various cards from the commander deck of, varying values. Oh, I guess that one technically should have been in there. Definitely, probably my favorite one from there is... I definitely think that... Oops. I think that these 3 here, the Wizened Mentor, the Lost Monarch of Ifnir, and the Rampaging Aetherhood are probably the best there. But doing good with our value, not value there, but with the ones that we have here, but finishing off strong there with our Radiant Lotus, getting a couple of our first place finishers, 2 of the commanders from the commander decks, and getting Sabsunen, Speed Demon, Mimeoplasm, Hazoret, and Last Ride finishing off there. I honestly thought that we were going to be coming up pretty short on good stuff here, but I guess it turned right around at the very end here. So thank you so much for joining me on this first collector's box there of Aetherdrift. Hopefully going to be getting at least one more out there and trying to get, maybe one more of these first place finishers that are going to be really nice. So thank you very much for joining me. I hope that you are well until next we meet, and take care of yourselves until then. Thanks.